Let me take this earliest opportunity to express my profound appreciation to each one of you for your selfless contribution to keeping our country safe and secure. I fully understand the sacrifices you make, the sleepless nights, and the constant pressure resulting from the demands of our noble duties. As the National Police Service, we have made several achievements in the recent past, which are as a direct result of your steadfast commitment, sacrifice, and the vigilance of the officers under your command. We have managed to degrade the operational capabilities of major organized criminal gangs that had terrorized parts of our country, while also fighting terrorism and combating illicit drugs and alcohol. Over the last year, the National Police Service has recorded significant operational milestones, marking a notable 5.1% decline in criminal cases reported compared with 2024, and an 8.4% decline compared to the year 2023. Other remarkable achievements include, but not limited to, a job group and salary harmonization, continuous capacity building, a highly successful recruitment exercise, several ongoing housing projects, and a batch of new motor vehicles replacing those that were old and unserviceable, as we await more this year, among others. As you are all aware, we are on a transformation journey, turning our police stations, training institutions, and all service areas into centers of excellence. This forms part of the four-pillar transformation framework, focusing on institutional capacity, operational preparedness, and logistics, oversight and accountability, and human resource management and development. This onerous task of transforming the National Police Service and maintaining an upward trajectory calls for all hands on. It requires each of us to coordinate our efforts, support one another, and work with unity of purpose to accomplish this mission. It is with that singularity of purpose that I have been holding a series of policing dialogues in various forums as part of my efforts to enhance and improve service delivery to the public. To achieve this, I found it necessary to reflect critically on our processes, identifying weaknesses that need attention, assessing obstacles that impede progress, and developing practical solutions that will allow us to move forward effectively. Hence, your presence here is very, very important because you occupy strategic leadership positions in which you have been entrusted with the powers and the responsibilities that impact service delivery. To further reaffirm our collective commitment to excellence in service delivery to the public, while also underscoring our drive to enhance professionalism and strengthen accountability, I have undertaken various strategies, including the recent signing of the 2025-2026 performance contract with the service commanders and heads of the directorates. In February of last year, I also formally invited the Ethics and Corruption Commission, that is the EACC, to undertake a comprehensive and independent review of the National Police Service systems, practices, policies, and procedures. This was not a routine exercise. It was a deliberate and decisive step towards confronting our vulnerabilities head-on. I remember when the EACC came on board, some of us thought that I was really serious in bringing them down. But I said that was not the case. My intention was a noble intention. Because you remember, when I took over this service, and even when I was undergoing the vetting by Parliament, the one question that came up most during the vetting process was, what are you going to do with this, with the corruption that is to be found in the National Police Service? It wasn't an easy question to, to answer to. So I promised the August House that I'm going to see how best I can be able to look into all those issues and ensure that we turn around the service from its number one position, when it comes to matters corruption, to some other numbers, and for some other entities to take over number one. So, and that was it. So when I took over, that is when I decided that we need to have a sitting with the EACC so that they can come on board and look at our systems, and our processes, our procedures, to advise us where we have gaps and what we need to do so that we can be able actually to go down and reduce, corruption in the service. And you see, by reducing the corruption in the service, we increase the trust level from the community. And all of you understand that. You understand the importance of, being trusted by the community. Because by so doing, you are able to effectively police your areas, because you get information from the community. The community shares with you. You share with the community, and that way you become a very, very successful commander in your areas. So later on, last year in November, the EACC brought in its report, and I'm sure none of you was questioned by the EACC. None of you was, recorded a statement with the EACC. So nobody was being investigated. All what I directed them to do was to look at our systems and advise us. Where is it that we are not getting it right? So that now we can be able to address that, all of us, collectively, from the Inspector General to the last commander there, to our police officer on the beat. That's the only way we can be able to succeed. And I can see there is an officer here who is deeply asleep. And I hope that what we are discussing here you will implement there. Because if it is not going to be implemented, then I will be very hard on you. So we got the report last November, remember? And we have the report with us. There were those low-lying fruits, like, for example, we had been advised that in the recruitment arena, space of recruitment, there was too much corruption. And that was an open secret. So the advice was that we need to spend a day in the recruitment, because it was possible with the National Police Service. Why? We are deployed throughout the Republic of Kenya. We are everywhere. So it is an exercise that you can be able to undertake in a day. And by so doing, we can be able to cut down on those complaints to the bare minimum. And that happened, and I want to appreciate you in a very, very special way, because you are the people, you are the officers who made it successful. Gotten very many letters of commendation, of a job well done. You recruited 10,000 police officers in a day. They are all in the various training colleges, and I think we are now on our 18th week of training, or 17th week, and we are doing well. So you did well, and I am sure if we succeeded on that one, we can even be able to succeed on the other areas that we are not doing very well. So right now we have the report. Last week I was here with the senior leadership, that is the regional police commanders, the formation police commanders, at that strategic level, so that we can also be able to have a dialogue on how we are going to implement the recommendations and the advice that were provided for by the EACC. And it was very, very clear. It is something that is doable. And the same is going to happen with you. Next week, we will be having another team that is going to Naivasha, so that together with the EACC, they can now be able to unpackage. Yeah? There are those that you can be able to implement immediately. There are those that requires a medium term in terms of implementation, and there are others that requires long term. So that is exactly what that team is going to do down there. And then later, then package the report. You can now be able to get it, because you are the people who are actually going to see to it that it is fully implemented. And by so doing, we will have revolutionized the service in a manner that you will never, ever believe. In line with that, remember in our strategic plan, 2023-27, digitization of policing services is also another critical area, and that is ongoing. And once all those issues are covered, including the instant traffic fines and many other areas that we are looking at, definitely National Police Service will no longer be number one in that arena when it comes to matters of corruption. Some others will take over that position, yeah? Because we have been in that position for many years, and we would like to get away from that position. Ama namna gani? Si hata nyinyi mnataka kutoka hapo. Hata mimi nataka tutoke hapo. Na tuweke mahali ingine, sio? So the service received the recommendations through a report presented to us in November last year. It touches on various areas of our operations, including human resource management, our training institutions, community policing, traffic management, investigations, data protection, and financial and asset management, amongst others. I continue to urge each one of you to familiarize yourselves thoroughly with this report and to take deliberate steps to address areas that impact your respective spheres of responsibility. As leaders, you are entrusted with the financial, human, and physical resources. And there is a clear expectation that these resources will be managed responsibly, transparently, and with the highest level of accountability. Any misconduct will not be tolerated and will be met with severe consequences. You are also looked up to by the officers under your command. You must uphold integrity, provide guidance, and ensure the provision of effective, people-centric, and accountable policing services for a safe and prosperous society. Presently, as a service, we continue to face several challenges that have either directly or indirectly affected the provision of policing services, including the adverse weather conditions affecting parts of the country. I fully understand the difficulties you are navigating under these circumstances. I am aware of about 16 police stations impacted so far, and I want to assure you of my full support as we prioritize the safety of our officers while ensuring that delivery of essential services to the public continues without interruption. It is during these times like these that the strength of our partnership with the community becomes most evident. The work you have done to build trust and collaboration will help us overcome these challenges. I continue to underscore the values of community policing because its impact is undeniable. We have all seen it work. Communities have come together to build police stations, provide vehicles, support the officers in the areas. In many other ways, I encourage each of you to harness this collective power, strengthen these partnerships, and continue building the trust and collaboration that enable us to serve our communities more effectively. You are also aware that in about 15 months' time from now, this country shall be holding general elections. Elections in this country are emotive and totally engaging. The planning and mapping of your respective areas of command must have begun by now. The needs, the shortfalls, the heavy lifting, and the strategic planning. My fellow colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, the culture of hiring thugs, incitement, mobilization of criminals to attack opponents and other crimes relating to elections must be dealt with very, very firmly. We cannot allow ourselves to be caught napping at all times. We must stay vigilant to ensure that when the time comes, the security of the nation is guaranteed. Closely related to the matters of general election is the management of demonstrations and the enforcement of the Public Order Act, and the use of firearms, which are crucial aspects that all commanders must fully grasp at the internals. Additionally, matters of command and control that you are going to have further discussions here. They are key to our organization. I urge you to selflessly work towards maintaining discipline within your commands. You are the responsible commanders in your areas of jurisdiction, and you must work ceaselessly towards the good of the service. Discipline is key to the survival of the service. Furthermore, let us continue to look inwards. We must purge our own ranks of officers who may be compromised or who are engaged in any manner of abuse. All police officers must remain apolitical, firm, and fair in the discharge of their duties. Finally, as the Inspector General of the National Police Service, I have full confidence in your ability to chart the right course within your respective areas of responsibility. Your efforts do not go unnoticed, and your sacrifice forms the foundation of our country's peace and stability. Let us move forward with purpose, integrity, and a shared commitment to the mission before us. Let us all remain united in purpose, resolute in our duty, and unwavering in our commitment to serve with integrity and excellence. With these remarks, I wish you all a fruitful engagement. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you very much. And as I said earlier, I want to appreciate each one of you because you have left your areas of command so that we can come and have a dialogue with you. As I've said, you play a critical role in policing. You play a critical role in ensuring that your areas of responsibility remains safe and secure on 24/7 basis. That is why I'm saying that the county police commanders, whether from the Kenya Police Service, whether from the Administration Police Service, whether from the DCI, you play a critical role. Because it is our collective effort that makes us succeed. I want to appreciate all the police officers on deployment throughout the Republic of Kenya, because they have ensured that our country have remained safe and secure all through. Our country is safe. Our country is safe on 24/7 because our officers in the north, our officers in the south, our officers in the east, and our officers in the west of this country have remained vigilant. And they are working closely with the communities to ensure that our country remains safe. This is the key area that I want you as the commander, as you go back there, you must ensure that you enhance that. So that as we prepare, as the country prepares and moves forward towards the general elections that will be held next year, the environment will be good to enable the people of Kenya exercise their democratic rights in choosing their leaders. That is the calling of the police service, that ensure the country remains safe and secure so that our people can be able to exercise their democratic right in getting their leaders. Ama namna gani hapo? Sio ndio kazi yetu? Hiyo ndio kazi yetu. The other thing that I have mentioned in my speech is that the National Police Service remains apolitical. We must keep away from politics. Just do your work. And if you do that, we are going to be very, very successful. You are the commanders at the levels of the county. Ensure that all your officers, they follow that line. Command and control of your officers, it is your responsibility. Discipline is key to the survival of the policing service. So you must firmly deal with indiscipline cases and your areas of jurisdiction. That's the only way you can be able to succeed. And that is how you can actually be able to effectively achieve police accountability. Because minus discipline, then it is even difficult for you to achieve accountability in your areas of responsibility. Ama namna gani? Yes, it is true. So, ensure that your areas are well taken care of. Always, every other time you have an opportunity, it's important to have barazas, meetings with your officers, have discussions with them, have discussions with your sub-county commanders, your station commanders, the general officers, so that you can also be able to understand your officers very well. I have informed very, very clearly that the government is doing everything possible to see to it that the welfare of our officers is well taken care of. It is only the other day that the officers were assured of their salaries in July, increased salaries in July, and to me that is something that is very, very good. We can only urge our officers to, to enhance, to redouble the effort, so that we can show some appreciation to the people of Kenya who have actually allowed us to get the increased salaries. And even to the senior level commanders. Remember the other day there was that mapping that was done, and your salaries were also taken care of. They were properly mapped. Ama namna gani? See, that happened. Ama mnafikiri sijui. That happened because we care about you. See? Yeah. Your welfare to me is very, very important. And as you go back to your counties, you must remember that the welfare of your officers depends so much on you, including matters, promotions, including every other matter that affects policy. You are the commander at that level. If there is anything that you think the Inspector General needs to get to know, don't hesitate, because I believe it will be something that is related to policy, something that can affect the safety and security of the people of Kenya. I know we still have challenges with equipment, including motor vehicles. The government is doing everything possible to see to it that we get additional vehicles. And going forward, you are going to see to it that we will continue to roll out many other, especially for the stations that don't have any, even as at now. The general duty police officers will also be getting their new uniform, as was promised. We have gotten everything, and I think now the contractor is doing the job. So we are also going to see a change in that direction in the next few months. And that is also something that is good, because we fulfill the promises that were done to the officers. Our recruits are also continuing their training. I know we have serious gaps in our stations. We don't have adequate numbers. And our numbers are low. I'm aware of that. And that's the reason why we are very, very appreciative of the government for allowing us to recruit the 10,000 who are currently undergoing training in the various colleges. And by by August, September, there, October, they should be out and joining, so that we can continue to ensure that our space remains safe and secure. Training is key to the survival of the service. I believe that training and capacity building must be a continuous process, because an officer who is well trained led us service from a point of knowledge. You are all aware of that. So whenever there is an opportunity for training your officers, please don't hesitate. And as I've mentioned here, and it was even mentioned very, very clearly by the county representative of the IJM, that we want to ensure that our stations becomes the centers of excellence for service delivery to the people. We cannot achieve that if the officers who are doing that are also not well trained. So training and capacity building becomes a critical component. And that is one of the reasons why we have brought you here today, so that you are taken through all these areas that needs to be looked into, so that as you go down there, the same can happen. I know the commander here will be calling even the sub-county police commanders. They will be here, the station commanders and so forth, so that this kind of training continues and ensure that all our officers are well, taken care of. And for that reason, I want to pay, a particular, thanks to the IJM for supporting this kind of dialogue, because it is very, very important, and it will deepen safety and security to the people of Kenya. So as you go there, as you go back to your stations, you must remember that training of your officers remains a key component to your success. And once your officers are well trained, capacity building, it's a continuous process, you will find that even police accountability is enhanced. So that is very, very important for us. And we are doing everything possible, looking for funds to ensure that we can be able to open up our regional training centers, so that for those who are out there, you can also be able to benefit from the regional training centers and enhance the ability of our officers. Corruption is a big undoing to our service, and you are the people who hold the key to ensure that at all times we continue to bring it down. You are the commanders at the county level. whether in charge of traffic, whether in charge of somewhere else, you are the county commander who is in charge of all those officers there. So these are areas that you must deliberately work on. To ensure that our counties becomes successful. And you see, when the counties succeed, the National Police Service in its totality succeeds. That is actually the importance of that. So I don't want to say much. I want to wish you well.